Welcome to Math Defined. I'm Mrs. C, and today I'm going to show you how to solve all 7 of these expressions. But if you feel that these are a little too advanced for you yet, then check out my Order of Operations Part 1 video where I explain the order of operations and show you how to solve easier expressions than what you see here. The link to that video can be found in the description below. All right, let's start with this first expression. 5 minus 3 times 3 plus 8. I know that some people like to use acronyms like one of these from this list to help them remember the order of operations, so I'll just leave it here. Now, looking at this expression, I see subtraction, multiplication, and addition. Since multiplication always comes before subtraction or addition, I'll complete that first. So 3 times 3 is 9, and I'll write it below and bring down the rest of the expression. All we have left here now is subtraction and addition. And since the subtraction is to the left of the addition, I'll need to subtract 9 from 5 first. So 5 minus 9 is negative 4. I'll write that below and bring down the rest of the expression. The only operation left is to add negative 4 and 8, which equals 4. Before I continue solving the remaining expressions, I do want to stop for just a minute to review the order of operations so that as I get into more complicated expressions, we won't get slowed down for not knowing what to do next and so on. So first, we complete all grouping symbols. Remember, these can and very often do include parentheses, brackets, braces, and the fraction bar when there is more than one number in either the numerator or the denominator. I will solve a couple of these types of fractions in just a minute. The second set of operations we look for are powers and exponents. They can stand as a single power or be included with grouping symbols like this. Next, we look for all multiplication and division, and we need to remember to complete these operations from left to right. And then the last set of operations to complete are any addition or subtraction. And again, these must also be completed from left to right. All right, let's look at this next expression. The first thing I notice are these 3 powers, and since powers and exponents come before subtraction and division, I will solve these 3 powers first. So 3 cubed, or 3 to the 3rd power, is 27. I'll bring down the subtraction sign. Then 4 squared is 16, and again I'll bring down the division sign this time, and 2 squared is 4. Now I have subtraction and division left. Since division always comes before subtraction in the order of operations, I'll need to divide next. 16 divided by 4 is 4. I'll write it below and bring down the rest of the expression. Now the only step left is to subtract. 27 minus 4 is 23. If you're liking this video so far, please do give it the thumbs up, click the subscribe button along with that notification bell. Doing these 2 things really does make a huge difference for the channel. And if you are a returning viewer of my channel, thank you so much for your support. Okay, now this new expression has 2 sets of grouping symbols that I need to work with first. When you have more than one set of grouping symbols like this, you need to work from the inside out. So I will start multiplying 5 times 6 first to get 30. Then I'll bring down the brackets and the exponent of 3. Since there now is only one number of 30 inside of the brackets here mean that the exponent of 3 will be distributed or applied to that value of 30. So 30 to the 3rd power is 30 times 30 times 30, which is 27,000. Now that is a big number. Let's keep going. This new expression also has 2 sets of grouping symbols. Again, I will solve from the inside out. So I will add 9 and 7 first to get 16. Bringing down the rest of the expression, I see that my next step inside the brackets will be to solve the power of 2 cubed, or 2 to the 3rd power, to get 8. My last step inside these brackets is subtraction. I will subtract 8 from 16 to get 8, and the only operation left is to multiply 5 and 8 to get a final simplified answer of 40. Okay, one more expression with 2 sets of grouping symbols. So starting on the inside, I'll divide 16 by 8 first to get 2. Still working with my grouping symbols, my next step is to solve the power of 2 to the 3rd power, which is 8. And the last operation inside the brackets is 8 minus 4, and that is 4. Now, like the last problem, this exponent of 3 needs to be given to the value inside the bracket. So I will solve the power of 4 cubed to get a final answer of 64. I'm moving on now to expressions that are written in fraction form like this. Since there is more than one number in both the numerator and the denominator, the fraction bar is a grouping symbol here. I will start with the numerator first, subtracting 12 from 30. This will leave me with 18 in the numerator, and I'll bring down the rest of the fraction. Since there is only one number now in the numerator, I'll focus on the denominator. Here I need to subtract 16 and 7 to get 9. Looking at this fraction now, I see an improper fraction that I need to simplify. I will do this by dividing 18 by 9 to get 2. As you can see, I still have that exponent of 4 left. Since it is outside of the parentheses, it means that this exponent will be applied to the 2 inside the parentheses. So 2 to the power of 4 is 16. On to our next fraction expression. Again, I will focus on the numerator first, and I see multiplication. 2 times negative 2 will give me negative 4. I need to bring down what is left in the numerator and the denominator. Next, I will multiply negative 4 and 4 to get negative 16. Don't forget to bring down the denominator. Now that the numerator is simplified, I'll focus on the denominator where I see multiplication first. 4 times 2 is 8, and I'll bring down that numerator. Subtraction is left, so I'll subtract 12 and 8 to get 4. Now I'll need to simplify this improper fraction by dividing negative 16 by 4 to get negative 4. And lastly, I need to distribute the exponent of 3 to the negative 4, so negative 4 to the third power will equal negative 64. You did it! We solved all 7 expressions. Remember, you can look for more of my math videos at Math to Find. Well, I hope this video helped you better understand how to use the order of operations. And until next time, thank you so much for watching.